We'll have the wireless mic, so you can ask the pastor wire mic.
Okay.
Just send it right there. Yeah. Once we have the right part, we'll see to get it. Very good at things.
It's a little bit, but I think
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to begin our hearing. Also, I would like to make note that we are streaming live from the GPD Senior Citizen Center, so we will get started in about a minute. Can everyone hear me okay? Pretend. Right, Hafude, and good evening and welcome to our hearing, everyone. This public hearing of the Guam Police Department is now called to order. The time is 6:03 p.m. and today is Thursday, February 19th, 2026. We are live streaming from the GPD Senior Citizen Center. Thank you to everyone joining us this evening, both in person and online, for this public hearing regarding the Guam Police Department's Body-Worn Camera Administrative Adjudication Act process for the Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations. A public hearing on this matter was also held at 6 p.m. on February 12, 2026 at the Sinahanya Senior Citizen Center. The purpose of this public hearing is to provide information and receive public input regarding the use of body-worn cameras during police operations. This hearing is conducted in accordance with the Administrative Adjudication Act, or AAA process, pursuant to Public Law 3757 for the implementation of body-worn cameras, referred to as BWC, into the Guam Administrative Rules and Regulations, which we will refer to as the GAR. In accordance with the Open Government Law, public notice of this hearing was announced through media outlets and disseminated via email to the 38th Guam Legislature, Mayor's Council of Guam, and through GPD social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. Public notice was also posted on GPD's website and the Guam Public Notice portal. Additionally, the draft BWC policy and proposed administrative rules and regulations were posted on the websites and available for review in advance of this evening's hearing. Printed copies of the policy were also made available for public access no less than 10 working days prior to this hearing at GPD headquarters and all GPD precincts. These documents were also shared with the 38th Guam Legislature through the oversight chair of the Committee on Public Safety and the Mayor's Council of Guam. This hearing is streamed online via the Governor's YouTube channel, and it will be available for viewing at a later time. Now, in compliance with the Americans with Disabilities Act, GPD has made reasonable accommodations to ensure this public hearing is accessible to all members of the community. ADA accommodations include, but are not limited to, American Sign Language interpretation, accessible facilities, and reasonable modifications upon request. Individuals requiring additional accommodations were afforded the opportunity to contact the Office of the Chief of Police via phone or via email. I'd like to introduce our panel to you. With us this evening are Colonel Joseph S. Carmelito, Police Commander, Captain Donald Flickinger, Lieutenant Felix Camacho, Sergeant Mike Elliott, Major Paul Sayama, and Paul Sermons with the AG's office. In our audience this evening as well is Mayor Francis Lizana, Mayor of GPD. I want to point out that written testimony that has been submitted will be packaged along with all other testimonies. and we will continue to receive written testimony that may be submitted directly to the Office of the Chief of Police or via email at chief@gpd.guam.gov 10 working days after the last hearing. Just a few administrative rules before we begin. I will share a few tidbits here to ensure this public hearing proceeds in an orderly, respectful, and productive manner. We kindly ask that all cellular phones and electronic devices be placed on silent or vibrate mode. We ask all participants to be kind, respectful, and attentive to others who are speaking. This hearing is an opportunity to listen and to share perspectives, and we ask that everyone allow speakers to complete their comments without interruption. Any individual who disrupts the proceedings or fails to comply with these administrative rules may be asked to leave the premises. This public hearing is conducted for the purpose of receiving information, comments, and suggestions from the public. It is not a forum for debate. All comments and recommendations provided today will be accepted into the record and taken under consideration as part of the AAA process. We will make every effort to clarify the process and answer procedural questions as best as possible. All information relevant to today's discussion is contained within the draft BWC policy and the draft BWC GAR, which have been made available for public review. And at this time, I welcome Colonel Joseph Carbolino to deliver brief remarks about the BWC initiative.
Hafide and good evening. In 2021, the Guam Police Department applied for a body-worn camera grant through the United States Department of Justice as part of our continued commitment to strengthening transparency, accountability, and public trust. On January 4 of 2022, GPD was formally awarded the grant, and the department received the funding on May 6, 2022. Legal authority for implementation under Article 4 was added to Chapter 77, Title 10 of the Guam Code Annotated on December 13, 2023, authorizing the Chief of Police in the Guam Police Department to conduct a body-worn camera pilot program. On January 9, 2025, the department received its first shipment of 59 body-worn cameras, including docking stations and mounting equipment. Following comprehensive officer training, the cameras were initially deployed in 2025 to Central Precinct Command for testing and evaluation. In August 2025, the deployment expanded to all 4 precincts and the SWAT unit, with 59 cameras placed into operation under the pilot program. On September 28, 2025, at the advice of the Attorney General of Guam, the body-worn camera program was temporarily suspended pending the adjudication process, which brings us here today. We would like to express our appreciation to the Attorney General's office for their legal review and consultation throughout this process. Their guidance has been instrumental in ensuring that the program is implemented in full compliance with Guam law and with appropriate safeguards in place. The Guam Police Department remains fully supportive of this program and confident in its value to our officers and our community. Upon completion of the adjudication process, we look forward to resuming and fully deploying body-worn cameras to our officers. We firmly believe this technology enhances professionalism, strengthens accountability, protects our officers from unfounded complaints, and reinforces public confidence in law enforcement. We remain committed to seeing this program through and ensuring its successful implementation for the benefit of our island community. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Carbolino. And now we will have Captain Donald Flickinger Jr., who will explain the BWC operational use flow chart.
Thank you. I'm Captain Donald Flickinger, the Guam Police Department, and I'm the body-worn camera program manager. So when we received our body-worn cameras, all the officers, every single officer and supervisor in the department, as the colonel said, went through extensive training on activations, when to use it, when not to use it, and checkout procedures. So basically how this works, and I have one here in front of me. This is a Motorola V700 body worn camera. Okay. And so how it works is when an officer assumes duty after briefing, they go to what we call a kiosk. It's a computer where they type in their name, and what the system does is automatically assign them a body worn camera. So it's not one that they take home. They're put inside the docking station and they're automatically assigned to each individual officer. So when the officer checks out, the body worn camera is put on his vest. And when he's responding to any kind of call, whether it be a pursuit or just in general a crime, when they step out, they hit the button here in the front and it starts recording. When they're talking to a complainant or anybody else like that, they let them know you're being recorded. Okay. The only time this gets turned off during an interview or a complaint, actually there's a few. When it gets turned off, the officer has to say, I'm turning off the body worn camera. It gets shut down, and then they go throughout their day, depends on how many times they turn it on, how many calls. When they get back to the precinct, at the end of their shift, they take the body worn camera and they put it back in the docking station. What happens when it gets into the docking station is it automatically uploads all the video and audio from this body worn camera. It uploads it, stores it to cloud storage. This camera is now empty. Okay, so you can pick it up and try to look if there's any videos. There's nothing in it, so it gets emptied every day, and it's stored in the cloud. Videos that are captured with the body worn camera are not deleted. Okay, they're kept for a period of time as it is outlined in the general order. Since we've implemented this, we've worked with the Attorney General's office several times where they've requested for recorded body worn camera footage in preparation for criminal cases or whatever it may be. So that's the basic rundown of how the body worn camera works. It records both audio and video, even at night. Okay? And there's a list, a substantial list of when they turn it on, when they turn it off. And every time they use it, if they make an arrest, it's documented in the report. The footage was captured on body worn camera. So that way, when it gets to the AG's office, if they request for it, it's easier for us to find it on the cloud. In reference to the cloud, there's only 3 people that are allowed to download anything and send it to the Attorney General's office via subpoena. That's myself and 2 individuals at the crime lab. Okay? Nobody else has any capabilities other than viewing what's on there.
Thank you, Captain Flickinger. At this point in time, we will move towards any testimony from the audience that's here today. Are there any members of the audience who is here to testify tonight? I checked our sign-in sheet and I did not see any names, but I need to make sure I make that public announcement. Anyone here? Okay. So for the record, especially for our viewing audience through our live stream, we do not have anyone present tonight to deliver testimonies. Having concluded that, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for participating in person and online. This hearing has now concluded. Thank you for coming. Drive home safely. Adios.
Yeah, one more.